Starting lineup, uniforms, and apparel present the WOA Senior AA Men's Hockey League podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the WOAA Senior AA Men's Hockey League podcast. This is episode number 35. I am Andrew Rogers, the host. Thank you very much for joining me once again. It's great to have you guys back for another week of the podcast. Great episodes coming up this week. Our last three before the month of August, and we'll get into August in a minute here. But yes, in terms of this upcoming week, today on the podcast we have a great guest coming on, number 7 of the Minto 81s, Brady Anderson. So that's going to be good. We'll introduce Brady here shortly. This upcoming Wednesday we have Ben Pelick, the first-year head coach of the Elora Rocks, and then on Friday, the last episode before we take a little bit of a break for a trivia challenge, which we'll get into more details in a moment. But on Friday, it'll be Cole and Kyler Keating of the Petrolia Squires, the brothers Keating. So we look forward to having those two on as well. Like I say, if anything changes, we'll let you know. But that's what we expect, at least for this week. In terms of the trivia challenge, yes, it's going to be very exciting. 64 players, one-on-one. 20 questions, and if a tiebreaker is necessary, we'll go to one, and winner moves on. We're going to have a grand champion, a consolation champion, and prizes for everyone who participates. This is going to be headed up by Gord's Imprints and Designs. Gord Lamont, the owner of Gord's Imprints and Designs, is helping us out with that, with the prizes, as well as Mitch Scott from Starting Lineup Uniform and Apparel, our presented sponsor. So we still have to work out the details of how we're going to run this trivia challenge. We will give you more updates when we have them. The next thing I'd like to touch on is the Shallow Lake Crushers are doing a golf tournament, their first annual, in support of the Crushers organization and the WOAA. This is going to be held on September 12th at Stone Tree Golf and Country Club in Owen Sound. I have put a team together, and I have submitted my team into the tournament. I can now confirm the fourth. We did confirm 3 of the 4 this past Friday. Myself, Mitch Scott, Rich Wigmore, Mitch Scott of Starting Lineup Uniform and Apparel, and he spent a couple of seasons with the Shelburne Muskies. We also have Rich Wigmore. He used to be a goalie in this league for the Tavistock Royals. He is our 3rd, and we can now confirm our 4th. Our 4th is from the Durham Thundercats organization. He also spent some time in Shelburne, and he also spent some time in Shallow Lake. His name is Andrew Boyle. He is our 4th. So that makes up our foursome that is going to win this whole thing. Yes, that's right. I said it. Win this whole thing. That's right. Watch out, Theo. Anyways, we got myself, Mitch Scott, Rich Wigmore, and Andrew Boyle. That'll make up our foursome for the Shallow Lake Crushers Golf Tournament that will be held on September the 12th. Onward and upward to today's episode of the podcast, episode number 35. We have from the Minto 81s, second-year forward, number 7, Brady Anderson. Brady Anderson. Brady, thanks for joining us on the podcast, pal. Good to see you.
Hey, no problem. My pleasure.
It's
good seeing you too.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good to talk with you. We spent a lot of time watching you play, and it was truly a pleasure. I just first question off the hop to you is everybody was affected by COVID a little bit differently. Now that restrictions are easing a little bit, so it's getting a little bit better. But through the first initial stage of it, there, how are things for you? Did life alter much, and how are you doing now?
It wasn't too bad for me. I've been working every day since the start of it, so that part of life hasn't changed at all. Obviously, at the beginning of it, our series got shut down there right in the thick of the thing, so right. That was a little disappointing, a little tough to adjust from full tilt playoff mode to nothing at all for the last 5 months pretty well. But no, nothing changed too much for me, really. It hasn't been too difficult here.
Good. And everybody's everyone's okay? Everyone's healthy?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's healthy and happy.
Good, man. I'm glad to hear that. That's the most important thing, I think, from all of this is that everyone's got their health intact and that everybody's doing okay. Take me back to when you did find out that the Ripley Minto series out you guys just clawed back into, tied it 2, made it a best of 3, had them really where you wanted them, I think, and then you guys found out that the season would ultimately be canceled and not restarted. Take me back to when you found out and that level of disappointment.
Yeah, it was obviously really disappointing. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. We were getting ready to go back into basically a 2 out of 3, looking forward to go there for Game 5 and maybe steal one and win it at home in 6. I think we were feeling pretty confident with ourselves, but it is what it is, I guess. There's always next season.
Right.
But yeah, definitely at the time it was a little bit heartbreaking. It would have been nice to see where things would have ended up, but
right.
I guess everything happens for a reason.
Was the feeling in the locker room that you guys had them? Like, was that being coming off of 2 wins where you get back in the series? Was there a feeling, a sense of confidence that maybe you guys didn't have after the first 2?
Yeah, I think definitely. Obviously, after you go down 0-2 and you're able to claw back, you feel pretty good in the room that way. But we knew it was going to be tough no matter what. 6 or 7 game series.
Right.
I don't want to say we knew we were going to win because obviously things happen, but I think we were pretty confident with ourselves there to come.
Yeah. And like, I mean, obviously the series was intense from a viewership perspective, but how intense was it to be playing on the ice in that series against Ripley?
Yeah, it was good. Emotions were high. Obviously it's the playoffs. Every shift counts. Every second counts on the clock. So
right.
It was pretty intense. I hadn't really played in a game like that in a year or 2 really since my last year junior, but
right.
It was nice to get back into it and where everyone's bought in, trying to win, same goal. It was good.
No doubt. And you had yourself a heck of a playoff, Brady. I mean, no question about it. You scored one of the best goals that I saw last year, and I think maybe if you were to run a WOA poll for anybody who watched any games last year, they'd say that your double overtime winner against Shelburne in the first round there was probably the best goal scored all season last year. Take me through the play. Like, you guys have a defensive zone face-off, and it's in double autonomy. I think you and Francois Cote were on the ice there as the 2 forwards, or part of the forward line. Take me through that whole entire sequence, if you can remember it.
Yeah, I remember it was a D zone draw.
Yeah.
We just wanted to get the puck out.
Right.
I don't really remember how we got it down there. I just remember Cote going down the wing and I was open in the slot and he put it right in my wheelhouse, I guess. It was a good spot for a one-timer, and I was able to put it by their goalie. Their goalies were really good that series, so
yeah,
I was lucky enough to get one by them.
Well, like, can you touch on the emotion when you put it in behind him? Like, I mean, you had a wicked goal celebration also. You go down to one knee, and you just like you could just sense the emotion in the building too, because the building went absolutely nuts, right?
Yeah, it was good. And obviously, when you score a goal like that, you feel pretty good. You want to celebrate a little bit. Their crowd, they brought a good crowd to Palmerston, and they were kind of giving us the gears all game. So
for sure.
I don't know. I was joking around with Fiske about what I was gonna do if I scored it, and that's just kind of the first thing I thought of. Emotions are pretty high. Obviously, double OT. That's a long game for anyone, but let alone a bunch of grown men. Now we're not teenagers anymore. So
right. Yeah, no doubt.
Felt pretty good to just finish it and be able to go back in the room.
No doubt. The picture that I got off of Instagram, the one that I used for your graphic, is outstanding because you see Ryan, both hands in the air on the bench, and like everybody just pouring off the bench, like just going nuts. And like I say, it really was one of the the thing is that in this league, you don't see a lot of that happen where it goes to that length of game, like double overtime. I mean, have you played in a game that has gone that long before?
In Listowel, the year we won the Sutherland Cup, second round against Waterloo. I don't remember if it was double or triple overtime, but
okay,
it was a long game as well. But yeah.
What's the hardest thing about playing games that go that long?
I don't know. You would think it would be exhaustion or your effort level, but I think adrenaline kicks in. That's not a problem there. I think the hardest part is just the anticipation. One bad bounce can either win it or lose it for you. That's what I
Right.
find the most difficult. It could be just a fluky shot that bounces off a shin pad and in, or a
Right.
real nice play. You never know. It just those long games. It seems like when you're dominating the other team, they just get that one break they need in double OT to end it. So
Right.
I think that's the toughest part. Just staying consistent and staying with it, and just working for that one goal.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I say, on that play, phenomenal play by Cote to get down the boards, avoid a check, get in behind the net, and be able to have the wherewithal to find you wide open in the slot. Like, I think part of that too is like, even from a Shelburne's perspective, you could say that when you play a game that long, like you said, it's just a matter of losing focus just for a split second to leave you alone in the slot like that, and Cote finds you perfectly and you bury. So
Yeah.
unbelievable play, unbelievable goal. And like I say, you guys had a hell of a run. You had a great season. It was your second season with the 81s, right, Brady?
Yeah, that's correct.
So in the two seasons, did you notice a big difference from your first season to the next?
Um, I think initially we thought this year was obviously going to be better than last year, and then
Right,
we got off to that tough start.
right,
But I think when you look at the halfway point of the season where we turn it around, I think our team and basically, I don't know if it's chemistry or what, but we kind of started to gel a little bit more. And both years were really good years. First year, obviously, we had a lot of fresh faces
hmm,
without Palmerston having a team. First year, everyone was getting used to the league a little bit.
right,
Made a quick exit in the playoffs, but I think second year come back, everyone's for the most part used to it. You know what you're getting into.
right.
You know that the league's no joke. There's a lot of good players in it. You got to show up every night. So I think the second year was just everyone's more comfortable and a little bit deeper team.
Sure. Did you notice that, like, in terms of the opposition? Like, I thought this past year was one of the most competitively balanced years in recent memory in this league in general. And I think part of that is that the player talent is getting that much better. Obviously, it's becoming a younger man's game, and guys are just so fast, so talented, and it makes it to be really interesting when you don't know on a given night who's going to win.
Yeah. It was a really tight league this year. Like 1 through 10, 1 through 11. It's all separated by six points pretty well all through there, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And you got to go to the rink every night prepared to win, but you really don't know what you're going to get each night. There's a lot of good players out there now, young players too, looking for places to play, and it's
Right.
making it a good, fast league.
You speak to that a little bit, right? Because like, you're a younger guy, you're only 23. I mean, you're playing against some guys that are out there that are pushing 40, and it's like, it's really interesting because this league is one of the only leagues that you could say that about it. And like, as a young guy, when you're out there skating against older guys, like, is that do you find that challenging? Do you find that to be a little interesting in a sense, maybe?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. There's some aspects that are challenging. You get against guys like Kazarian from Port Elgin,
Right.
taking a face off against him or battle along the boards with him. He's been in the league for a long time. He's a
Sure.
pretty strong guy. You experience it that way, but
Right.
then but younger guys get a little bit of an advantage. Their feet might be a little bit better, not
Sure.
particularly mine, but
Yeah.
some other
The
guys,
81s guys will love that, Brady.
yeah. Uh, some guys use their speed, so I think it goes both ways. There's advantages and challenges to the younger and older side of the game.
No doubt, no doubt. Who did you like? I know that I mean, in terms of the season, I mean, you only got into about 9 games throughout the regular season. And I know, work had something to do with that, but also because you coached with Listowel last year, right, as well. And I know that kind of got into that. In terms of like who you played alongside, though, I was just curious who you typically played alongside throughout the season when you did get into a game.
Uh, it kind of bounced around a bit, depended who was there for the first little bit. Me and Tommy, Hugars and Harry started off together,
Right, right.
If I
And
remember correctly.
and you and Tommy go back, right?
Yeah, we played in Listowel together. And then by the end of the year, when we were getting our full lineup and everything, I was playing with Cote and Gabri a lot.
Okay.
Those are two good guys to play with. They love hunting the puck and big, strong. Cote's a big, strong guy, and Gabo's Gabo, but it's pretty
Yeah, it
good to
was
play with.
awesome.
Yeah, I liked playing with those two guys a lot.
Right on. And so talk to me about Tommy. Tommy, it was his first year with the 81s this year. and
Second.
second as well. Okay.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so you and Tommy won a championship together, right, in Listowel?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, like, what impresses you so much about Tommy? Because he's impressive to me.
Oh yeah, he's got a great shot. He scores a lot of goals, but he's fast too, and he doesn't stop working really. That's pretty much what it comes down to. He
Right.
he works harder than a lot of guys, and he's a lot faster than a lot of guys. So chances come to him, and he seems to capitalize on them. He's a fun guy to watch, fun guy to play with for sure.
Right.
He's definitely uh, one of the better goal scorers in senior, I would think.
Yeah.
For hopefully he sticks around for a while and a few more seasons, and we can bring a championship into Palmerston.
No doubt. How special was that championship that you won with the Listowel Cyclones? Like in a whole, with the, like during your time there, was that pretty much the highlight?
Oh, definitely. That group of guys, we were, for the most part, we were all together right from day one there.
Right.
It's probably 11 of us that started there. A couple guys left and came back in the last year or two, but for the most part, when you go through junior together, and you win your last game of junior hockey, not too many people get to do that. So
Right.
that was pretty special for us, and to win it in front of the crowd. Um, we were selling out the Steve Kerr new building there. It holds 2,200 people, and we were
Right.
selling that out. It was pretty special. Definitely right on top of my memory list there.
Right on. That's really cool. And yeah, like you say, you spoke about that, which is really interesting. When it comes to guys sticking together and team chemistry, because obviously if you start out with like a big group of guys that just stay there consistently year after year, you could build on that in terms of creating great chemistry and having great success. I think that's really important in any league.
Yeah, exactly. Chemistry, whether it's on the ice or off the ice, you guys got to get along. You all got to be on the same page, and when you spend a lot of time together, that just occurs naturally. And junior, it's like a brotherhood. You're together 5 days a week, 6 days a week. And senior, you're only together 1 or 2 days a week, but it's still a very important aspect of the game. You gotta want to go to the rink every day and enjoy being there
Yeah,
to perform up to
no
your
doubt.
expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and like I say, it's funny because you look all over the league, and there's a lot of Listowel Cyclone product out there, and like the guys have second to none talent, and I think that's what makes this league so great is that they're able to come into this league and do well. Speaking of that, you had rookie sensation Holden Lancic in Seaforth last year, just absolutely tear it up, finish third in scoring. Like, is he as good as advertised? Like, I mean, I know he's good, but like you played alongside him in Listowel, and you saw him play like when we played Seaforth last year. Like, he's just like, what makes him so good?
Well, the way he thinks the game, I think he's a step ahead of people a lot of the time with where the puck's going to be or what to do with the puck. That's definitely his biggest aspect, and he wants to win. He's
Right.
a winner. He's a proven winner, and he'll probably always be a winner.
Right.
But he's got that drive. He wants to be the best player on the ice, wants to score the most goals. He wants to win championships. I think that's a pretty important aspect in a player's build there. And when you have his hockey IQ, all that together makes you one heck of a player. I don't think he's overrated at all. Definitely
Yeah.
worth the
Like,
advertisement.
yeah, not only he's great talent, but he's a great dude also. Like, I mean, off the
Oh yeah.
ice, just a fantastic guy, really humble, and he's doing a lot of good things. So,
Yeah.
in terms of your when you first got into hockey, like, I mean, when you were growing up in the hockey scene, like, do you have any sort of fond memories of your childhood when it comes to hockey? Like, I mean, championships, maybe big goals that you scored, that sort of thing.
Um, Growing up, I guess I just played in
Yeah, Chesley, nice.
Chesley till I was in
I played
major
minor
D.
hockey there. Well,
Yeah,
I went to play in
against.
Chesley. Yes.
Yeah. Um, we're double D center, so nothing crazy there. I think we won the championship in novice, and then not again after that. So nothing crazy there. But um, once we go to the Highlanders, I don't know, AAA. those years kind of flew by. I don't remember a whole lot off the top of my head. My last year, AAA and midget, I guess, we had a really good team. Couple fond memories there. We won our league and got bronze at provincials.
Nice.
Or maybe lost in the bronze medal game. I don't even remember now, but that's a pretty fond memory there. We had a lot of good players on that team as well, and obviously junior, winning a couple of championships. I scored some big goals in that run against Waterloo in Game 7 and a couple against London. Those are some fond memories, but I don't know. Most of the things I remember aren't about personal success. It's all the team success that really makes it.
Yeah, I think that's what makes you kind of a really interesting guy is how humble you are, because it's not just all about you. It's about the team you play for and the other guys. And I think that's something that is a very rare attribute that anybody at any age, especially playing a game like this, can to separate. I mean, you got to remember it's about the team. It's about, team success. It doesn't matter how many goals you score. It doesn't matter how many points you put up. If the team's not winning, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah. If the team's not winning, yeah, what's the point in playing? No one likes to lose. That's team first.
What is it about this game that you love so much, Brady? Why do you continue to play?
I'm a competitive guy.
Right.
Really competitive. So when you're 23, this is all you got left, really, pretty well.
Well, in terms of competitive hockey, yeah.
Yeah, so you can go to the rink once or twice a week, kind of scratch the competitive itch. And then obviously just sitting in the locker room before and after practices or games, have a drink with the guys, team functions. We have the Yuck Yucks Comedy Fest or the Halloween dance, all that stuff. Like, it's tough to beat a time like that when you got 15, 20 guys, pretty good buddies with, spend the night with them. Like, I like the social aspect of it as well.
And obviously, I mean, I know from experience, having been there last year, in terms of how good that locker room is, but you could speak to that as well. I mean, the group of guys there was just a really special group.
Oh yeah, phenomenal group. Everyone seemed to get along and no issues. We hung out a lot outside the rink. Seemed every weekend there's something different going on at someone's house. But yeah, it was a good group, from playing against a lot of those guys growing up and through junior to being on the same team now. No issues. I think that's the same with every team. Once you get to know a guy, once you get to play with a guy, you become pretty good friends.
Yeah, because that's a very interesting thing with this league as well, is that you do go from playing against guys on a regular basis with junior hockey to not only playing against them in this league, but also playing alongside them. That's got to be really interesting.
Oh yeah, really interesting. I guess me and Tommy would have played against Harrison, Kowalik, Gabry.
Yeah, when they were with the Dutchman, right?
Yeah, so honestly, we didn't like each other.
Sure.
Me and Gabry kind of butted heads all through junior.
That's really funny because then you guys play on a line.
Yeah, and now it's good stuff. We like chatting it up in the room and having a beer after the game and whatnot. It's pretty good, yeah.
Well, and like I say, it's just so funny about this league how you can go from being, button heads on the ice in junior to basically sitting next to each other on in senior hockey. It's just so interesting. I love that part of it, because obviously, yeah, the other part of it too. There's a lot of guys in this league that know a lot of other guys that play on other teams, right? I mean, that really makes it an interesting element on the ice, because then you think, well, geez, it's going to be a nonstop chirp fest out there.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. I get to play against Blake Nickel and Keaton Willis and Ripley.
Yeah, that's right, with Ripley. And that's the thing. Yeah, I know Blake used to play in Listowel, right?
Yeah, Blake and Keaton. Yeah, so it's fun going out there, finish a check on one of them, and kind of chirp back and forth a little bit the odd time. But yeah, that's definitely one of the more interesting parts of the league. You can kind of hate someone for 60 minutes, and then as soon as the buzzer ends, you become buddies again and grab a drink together. It's fun, yeah.
Well, and I think that speaks to the competitive nature of everybody, because obviously, yeah, in those 60 minutes or 60 plus, they want to win. And that's the thing, is that everybody just has that drive, that competitive drive to win the game and then essentially earn bragging rights. I think that's the huge part.
Yeah, exactly. No one likes to lose. No one goes out there wanting to lose. So for those 60 minutes you're playing against your buddies, you're not buddies anymore. And
Right.
yeah. Then when the buzzer goes, it's back to normal. It is what it is.
Yeah,
And yeah, you maybe get bragging rights till the next game.
no doubt. Until they get you.
Yeah.
In terms of like sports in general, obviously with COVID, it kind of put sports to a halt. Like what in years past, like what would you be doing around now if it was pre-COVID and everything was normal? What would you be doing now in terms of sports?
I usually play slow pitch,
Okay,
so once or twice a week, I play in Listowel, make the trek down there to see all the fellas from those days once a week. Usually go golfing. So golf hasn't changed too much. I'm actually golfing more this year than ever before,
right
probably.
on. Do you just play out at Listowel Golf Club?
Um, I don't have a membership anywhere, so I just kind of go. I go to Listowel a fair bit.
Yeah,
Walkerton,
it's a really nice course. I love it there.
yeah, great course. I work in Walkerton, so I head there. It's just a little 9 hole
Okay.
after work some days. But yeah, I'd be watching a lot of baseball. I love baseball, so glad that's back. Hopefully it stays. I'm not sure
We'll
what's
see
going to
how it
go on
goes,
there,
right?
but yeah,
And then
pretty big baseball guy.
hockey starts up tomorrow with the exhibition qualifiers. Or I mean
Yeah,
the exhibition then qualifiers, I mean.
yeah, you'll be able to watch hockey 12 hours a day here pretty soon.
Yeah, won't that be something, right?
Yeah, it'll be
Um
nice actually. I'm looking forward to being able to go to a patio and have a beer with some friends and catch a hockey game in 30-degree weather. It'll be nice.
yeah, you could do that at 12:30, starting at 12:30.
Yeah.
Who's your team, Brady?
Uh, Hockey,
Yeah,
San Jose, unfortunately.
San Jose.
This year,
I wasn't expecting that. I got to be honest.
I'm
That's
a big
have they always been your team, or is that somewhat recent?
ever since Joe Thornton got traded there.
Okay, that's
So
fair. He's
it's a
an
fairly
unbelievable hockey player. So that makes sense.
fairly fairly long time. I used to be a pretty big Bruins fan, but when they traded him, I was still pretty young. I think I was only in like grade 3 or 4. So I
Probably pretty
followed
heartbreaking at the time.
I followed him there, and they've been my team since. So I've gone through a lot of ups and downs with them. Never got to see the cup. So
Hey, man, I'm in the same boat. Big Leaf fan. Yeah,
yeah,
no big
big
deal.
Leaf fan. Well, at least they have a chance this year.
Hey, man, all the it's funny because that's the thing is like when it comes to how things have shook down, the fact that the season was canceled abruptly, and then now we go right into this little 3-day exhibition where every team plays once, and then we go into qualifiers. You really never know what could happen over the course of 2 weeks. Like, San Jose could come out and they could do really well, and the Leafs could come out and do really well. But there's so much unknown, and that's what's so great about it, I think.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. I couldn't even make a prediction really on who's gonna win. It's gonna be a pretty intense month or two.
No doubt.
But it should be a lot of fun.
Well, and like I think, yeah, it's tough for anybody to make a prediction because really all I think they care about is the fact that hockey's back. They don't
Yeah,
really care who
exactly.
wins necessarily at this point. Well, they do, but they don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You were saying baseball in Listowel, right? I used to play a men's competitive during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. I don't know if that was the same league you
Yeah,
played
yeah. I've only played in it. This would have been my third year, but
in.
yeah,
Okay.
we put a team in. I guess 3 years ago now, we put a new team in. So yeah, it's been good. I like
So
that.
then,
It's fun.
is that so? I'm just making sure. I'm trying to figure out if it's the same league or not. But do you guys play out at Kim Park and then at Trowbridge? Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah,
Okay.
like against like the Otters and the Killer Bees and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I play for the Misfits.
the Misfits. Yeah, we still play against them. We're the Chiefs.
Yeah. So there you go. So I played for so Alan MacArthur. He got me involved in that. So he was he ran the Misfits for quite a few years there, but I don't know who ran it last year. I think because I was talking to him about joining, but then I ended up working afternoons and I couldn't go to any of the games, so I just decided not to play. But I do still have a Misfits hat for memorabilia. So perfect.
Well, that's
No,
pretty cool.
it's such a fun league though, Brady. Honestly,
Oh yeah,
it's great. Like, whatever it is, you 3 pitches, you pitch to your own team, or yeah, you pitch. No, they pitch to you. They
they
pitch you.
pitch to you. Yeah,
Right. Or sorry, sorry, it's not 3 pitch. I used to play a 3 pitch before that. But anyways, it's just such a fun league though in general. Like the guys are great.
yeah,
The like some of those guys, they can really mash the ball. It's unbelievable. But
yeah. They can hit them. Some of them can hit them a long way.
oh yeah,
But
it's great. It's
yeah,
crazy. It's like, oh, I just dribble one down at third base, and these guys are mashing them like into the friggin' school parking lot at Kim Park.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What position do you play?
Shortstop or third base, probably.
Okay,
Always been an infielder growing
right
up.
on.
So
Didn't
yeah,
you hit them pretty good or what?
more of a single double guy,
Yeah, fair enough.
not a
You
power
got
guy, but
you got to use that hockey speed to get around the bases real fast, though.
yeah,
That's
not
awesome.
much speed anymore. But
Well,
yeah,
hey man, when you say stuff like that, it makes me feel even slower. So thanks a lot for that, Brady. So
uh,
let me ask you about your hockey upbringing. Like when it comes to your hockey success as in general, like who would you tip your hat to? Who would you say you owe your biggest hockey success to?
I think obviously my parents. They lugged me around to the rink. Once I started playing Triple A, that was 5 days a week. We'd be going from.
Right.
It was nice. We were fortunate enough that Grey Bruce's home center is Chesley, so
Oh, perfect.
5 minute drive in there. But that's only one practice in the game. So the other two practices, some years were in Dundalk,
Right.
Flesherton. So they drove me around a whole lot, and obviously gave me the chance to play Triple A and kind of develop my foundation there. So that's definitely who I owe the most to. And they followed me around. They still come to every home game, show a lot of support, mostly away games. So it's definitely they're definitely the most impactful for me.
Right on. And then I know, like I say, when you played in Listowel, like they've always been a world-class organization there as well, from top to bottom. Great coaches, great staff. I mean, they obviously had to make that a great experience for you also.
Oh, definitely. When you get a coaching staff that has Jason Brooks and Todd Norman and Jesse Cole involved
Yeah,
in it, those are
right.
three guys that all played hockey at a high level. Brooksy was a head coach and GM in the OHL. Um, they can develop you in a number of different ways, and it was always good to go to the rink. You knew you were going to go out there and work, but they made it a lot of fun too. And yeah, definitely a first class organization.
It,
Great
did
billets. Great.
did that make it
Go ahead.
an easy choice for you then to become like part of the coaching staff last year?
Yeah, I think so. I knew coaching was something I always wanted to get into.
Okay.
Um, I last year was kind of different. I wasn't sure if I wanted to get into it so early, but when an
Right.
opportunity like that presents itself, it's pretty tough to say no to
Of
that.
course.
Um, Brooksy wasn't there last year on the bench or anything, but he still comes around. He still kind of guides me in the right directions, helps me out. And
Good.
Jesse Cole, and the head coach there now, is Brooksy's protege. So
Right.
there's really, to me, not many people better to learn from that way.
Good.
So when I could get a full season like that under my belt, definitely was good.
What would you say was the thing that you enjoyed most about it? Like, I mean, obviously, like you said, you didn't I mean, it's hard to know what to expect when you get into that. All that you know is that you do want to get into it. What did you enjoy the most?
I kind of like the strategy part of it.
Okay.
You don't really notice it a whole lot as a player. The coaches come in and they say, "We're playing this forecheck. We're doing this breakout because they're
Right.
doing this." But when you sit down and with the coaching staff and watch video on it and create a whole new forecheck or a whole new breakout to break what the other team's doing, I think that kind of makes it fun as a coach. You're impacting the game somehow. You're
Right.
not just standing on the bench rolling lines over or yelling at kids. You get to that's your way to impact the game. So I
Sure.
like that part of it, and Um, yeah. Um, Basically, I just like learning more and more. Try and build my knowledge up one day.
The,
Uh,
the interesting part that you mentioned there, like, is obviously growing the knowledge factor of from a coaching perspective. But is it fair to say that that could also translate onto the ice as well?
oh yeah, definitely. Once you figure out all those little things that the coaches are working on, and um, you know, it's a little different. The junior game and senior game is a lot different
Of course.
in terms of that, so it's tough to implement it that way. But when I do play senior, it's if I see something or anything, I try and talk to Fisky about it, and just he's got a lot of hockey knowledge too, so we kind of just mesh a little bit and see what we're seeing. If not, if they don't listen, I don't care. It's no big deal. But I don't mind throwing my opinion out there that way. No.
No, it's good. I mean, obviously, again, having any sort of perspective is always critical in terms of, if it could be useful in terms of making a team successful, then people got to be all for it. But obviously, if you have a difference of opinion, it can make that tough. I found that the Minto organization, I also found them to be pretty unbelievable in terms of how they handled things from top to bottom, from Dan Hill all the way to Ryan Fisk, and the coaching staff was just great there, made up of a great amount of people. I mean, that has to make it easy on you to, like, not only for, like, I think the interesting thing, like you say, because you only got in about 9 games because of your schedule. I think the fact that they were able to be so flexible with that makes it gotta be kind of nice for a guy in your position.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. I'd talked to Ryan about it. Um, the nice part is we get the junior B schedule and the senior A schedule pretty early in the year, so
Right.
um, I kind of sat down and went through the two schedules and compared what games I could make, and uh, sent it to Fisky. And I think initially I sent him 6 games that I would 100% be at, and he kind of said try and get here for 10. And
Okay.
I did what I could, but it was great. They were flexible with it. If I was able to be there,
Good.
they found a way to get me in the lineup, and if I wasn't there, they're fine with it. They understood.
Right.
And then once playoffs rolled around, I kind of kicked my commitment level up a little bit, but
Well, good.
um, they were still really good and understanding about it. Definitely easy people to deal with for sure.
Well, I can tell you this, pal. Like, I mean, from a viewership perspective, it was really fun watching you play last year, and I really did enjoy the games that you did get into because you were great to watch out there on the ice. What do you enjoy most about this league and playing in this league?
Yeah, the competitiveness. I do like that you go to the rink every night and it's a battle to win. You got a lot of good teams in this league. It's
Good.
maybe not as one-sided as it once was, but
Right.
obviously that part. And then I do like just hanging out with the guys in
Yeah.
the room.
Right on.
Gives you a good spend an hour in the room after the game, just hanging out. Yeah, that's probably my favorite part of the game still.
Awesome, man. That's fantastic. I love that answer. So, and then we can expect you back when hockey when this league resumes next year. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Okay. Perfect.
I think so.
Right on.
Try and do my best to recruit some other guys, but
There you go.
yeah, I'll definitely be back for another year or two for sure.
Right on, pal. We've been speaking with Minto 81's forward number 7, Brady Anderson. Brady, I'll leave the floor to you. If you have any last words, to you take it away.
Well, thanks for having me, Raji. Was a good time. My pleasure. Keep doing what you're doing. I think a lot of people really appreciate this, especially given with everything going on. It's something
Right.
to watch for a lot of people, and
Yep.
um, keep going with it. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Brady. I appreciate that. It's at this time we would like to thank our guest for coming on today's episode of the podcast, episode number 35, number 7 of the Minto 81's, Brady Anderson. Brady, it's been a pleasure. Well, you're welcome back anytime, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Perfect. Thanks, Raji.
All right. Once again, I want to say thank you to Brady Anderson for coming on to the podcast today. Absolute pleasure speaking with him. He's a stand-up dude, unbelievable talent, and a great ambassador of this league. And he's welcome back on the podcast anytime. So it was a great pleasure speaking with him, and we look forward to having him back on eventually. Yes, so in terms of our next episode, we have Ben Pieluk, first-year head coach of the Elora Rocks. That'll be coming your way on Wednesday. I want to thank Mitch Scott of Starting Lineup Uniform and Apparel also. He's our presented sponsor. So thank you very much to Mitch. And thank you very much to you for watching another episode of the WOAA Senior AA Men's Hockey League Podcast. It's been great to speak with you guys once again. I'm Andrew Rogers, the host, saying so long, and we will see you on Wednesday.